Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we'll be doing the next part for What If Broly Was Raised by Frieza. Now I know it's been a fucking while since I've done the part for this, and there's another What If I haven't touched in a few months, but um, I just have been really busy with life and shit, so I'm sorry I haven't actually really had time to plan out What Ifs at the moment. Um, but I've got a few booked up. I've got one which I need to finish some other What Ifs before I start doing, but yeah. I'm in a pretty good condition to gain some momentum again and hopefully be ending some waves. But anyway, with that said, let's get going. Now, last time we left off with things slightly different from canon. You see, our time travelers were the likes of Goten and Broly's son, with also an appearance from Trunks, the son of Yamcha, not Vegeta. We join our heroes in the hunt for the androids. Well, things go normal. Dr. Gero runs away from the group and they chase after him. The Doctor goes to activate the androids with the group blowing up the door, revealing what's going on in the lab. Dr. Gero being killed by both 17 and 18, who then release 16 before flying off from the group. This shocks them at the sight of the androids. At first, they don't chase straight after them. However, they soon snap out of this daze and chase after the androids, who are stood on a road not too far away from where they fought. The androids, like in canon, are planning on taking a car to go get Goku, with 17 currently looking out for them. With 17 then looking over to the group, he taunts the group, with them not rushing in to fight. Since Vegeta is not here, he's not in a bad mood or wanting to prove himself. However, once 17 brings up the idea of killing Goku, Gohan speaks up, telling them that they won't allow them to get near his father. 17 laughs, saying, "Sorry to break it to you, kid, but your father's gonna die regardless of what you want." Everyone gets into a fighting stance, with 17 laughing, saying how he isn't sure they even stand a chance against him. But please, bring it on. However, once the squad of Gohan, Broly, Riku, and future Goten transform into their Akari state, with Zarbon also transforming, this causes 17 to take an interest in what's going on. He turns to them, saying how if they want to bring it, come on. With the four Saiyans and Zarbon rushing at 17, with the android smiling as he takes on all the hits coming towards him, with him being able to block and dodge all of the hits, with the other androids watching from the side. The Earthlings and Piccolo watch for a few seconds before rushing in to help. This prompts 18 to step in as the duo easily start to overpower the group, with them being under a lot of pressure and wanting to either do some damage or escape. They spend a few minutes fighting before Goten decides that they need to get out of here. Goten gets one decent hit in on 17, staggering him a little bit before shouting over to Riku, "Do the thing, Riku!" When hearing this, he looks a bit hesitant, but seeing the situation of his comrades, he nods. He understands that this is a battle they are not winning and will soon lose, seeing that the Earthlings are pretty roughed up and so is Piccolo. So the hybrid Saiyan begins to scream massively. The ground underneath everyone shakes violently, and his power begins to massively jump upwards as his power and hair change. His eyes white out and his hair goes golden. Goten shouts for everyone to get to cover! With everyone confused, they look over to see what Broly thinks to be the Super Saiyan. Riku's hair is golden, aura is yellow, and his rage is immense. Everyone's amazed at the fighter's power as he lets out a scream of blood rage as he stares down towards the androids. Everyone's confused. Goten shouting out that we need to leave. With them more confused, they ask why. With Future Trunks saying anytime he uses this power, he goes berserk and kills anything, whether it's friend or foe. So it's become a very last resort as a getaway. He'll survive whatever the androids throw at him, but we need to get out of here. With them once again looking to Riku, who is beginning to laugh like a maniac and soon rushes off towards both androids, swinging wildly, having lost all sense of himself. Clearly, the refined martial arts style he had used earlier is left, as he now fights like an animal in a rage. Zarbon and Gohan remember this happened to Broly, however, unlike what Goku did, they can't knock him out. Riku is far beyond their own power. Plus, it seems that any damage done to him, he just seems to tank. This has put the boy in a very dangerous spot as everyone flies away a little bit but watches from a distance. Androids for a while play with Riku, finding him interesting right now, but his power is still nothing compared to theirs. closed the gap almost to there being no gap. But thanks to the fact it's a 2-on-1 and Riku doesn't have control over this power, he's at a huge disadvantage. With Goten looking on from the fight, he explains a bit more about this. He goes on explaining, the other time he did this, we had Gohan to stop him. But I don't know what to do here. We might stand a chance, but we need to get him away from the androids. Then we need to knock him out. It's the only way Gohan stopped him. Hearing this, Zarbon spends a minute or two planning, telling the group, if we blind all three of them, Broly, you, Goten, and Gohan tackle Riku out of here and deal with him somewhere else. Me and the others will draw the androids away and then circle back round to meet you. With them hearing this, they agree to the plan. Broly tells his father figure to be safe, and the Earthlings begin to get ready to rush off. With Piccolo saying how he'll help get Riku out of there, being so he's pretty strong. With this done, everyone's ready. Both Krillin and Tien rush in using the solar flare to blind not only the androids but also Riku, while the team of Goten, Broly, Gohan, Piccolo tackle Riku and rush off into the distance. Luckily, using the Ikari form from three of them, it gives them enough power to push him, and they make it a good few miles before Riku's vision slowly comes back. And here he lets out another giant scream, and he starts trying to attack the group. However, they start fighting him. Goten talks to him, trying to calm him down, explaining that this isn't you, Riku. You just need to get a grasp of this power. Come on, you're in there. But Riku is unresponsive. Broly, after watching this, lets out a massive scream of his own, almost challenging Riku to a duel. The hybrid seems to accept it as the pair stare one another down before clashing with one another. Riku holds not only the advantage in power, but also holds the stronger form. And thanks to the fact of he seems to be able to take an ungodly amount of damage like this, Broly's very unlikely to land any decent blows. He gets a few good hits in, but Riku does more damage, and eventually puts Broly in a situation where he's been hit bad and hard. He's in a really rough spot as the time traveler who is now mentally snapped gets ready to kill his own father. But before anything else can happen, a shout of "No!" as Gohan lets out a scream as his power begins to rise massively. His hair, much like Riku earlier's, changes to a golden colour, and the aura turns yellow. Goten at first panics, and Gohan achieves the Super Saiyan form. But the young man seems to have some control as he rushes at Riku, hitting him hard. Riku smiles at this, a horrifying smile, while wiping the blood from his mouth. With Gohan realizing what he's done, with Goten and Piccolo seeing this, they are amazed. With them saying for Gohan to knock out Riku. The boy nods as he starts fighting Riku. The boy is in control and he's easily able to overpower Riku, thanks to him having his martial arts style and thanks to him being pretty strong anyway, soon leading to a knockout on his end. Gohan having knocked out Riku, the young boy lets out a breath of relief, as he soon drops out of the Super Saiyan form, confused at what happened. Piccolo double checks on the boy while Goten helps up Broly, while making sure that Riku is alright. Soon, the rest of the Z fighters show up afterwards, asking what happened, having sensed Gohan's power spike so much, causing them to make a quick play and ditch the androids a bit faster than they were hoping to. With Broly speaking up, saying, I think he became a Super Saiyan, which is what Riku is. However, he seems so much more dangerous than Gohan's, who seems to have some control over the form. However, Riku has none. He almost fights like an animal. That makes sense though. If he is my son, he would inherit that off me. The group unsure of what to do now, Piccolo speaks up saying how he's heading towards the lookout, but he suggests the group lay low until the likes of Goku is up. Everyone agrees they head off, and things play out very similar for the most part here. Up until the moment where Goku wakes up, we have very few changes. This version of Cell is slightly bulkier and stronger, but fusion of Kame and Piccolo is more than enough to deal with him. They don't kill him, but the fight goes like normal, with Goten going with Bulma and Gohan to check out the time machine. Now, when Goku does get up, he is caught up briefly about Super Saiyan. He had sensed the power, but is now fully in the loop. With Goku amazed to hear the power his son now wields, before looking over to Gohan asking his son to show off this power. Gohan nods, having spent a few days while Goku was out training the form. He has managed to activate it at will. Gohan spends a moment training before transforming. Goku is amazed and proud at his son. He then turns to the group, saying that he thinks they will be able to win against the androids. This confuses the group, as Goku goes on to say how he's been working on something which will give them the edge with ease. So with the help of Piccolo, Gohan, Broly, and Goten, they can probably easily win this. With everyone confused, asking Goku what he means, with the Saiyan telling everyone to head outside, with them all watching around him, while Goku goes into his Akari form before letting out a shout of Awaken times 10, with Goku's power skyrocketing upwards. His power matches that of Piccolo's, who's currently the strongest fighter. Goku then powers down, saying how since Broly is so strong and grows so fast, he's had to think a bit smarter recently and has worked on the Kaioken to go along with his Master Ikari form. However, now that this Super Saiyan form is here, he thinks he wants to learn this. After all, it seems much more efficient, however a bit weaker than the Kaioken Ikari combo. But for now, this will be more than enough to deal with the androids. So with this done, the group decide that they will split up and search for the androids and raise their power dramatically to signal that the androids are in front of them. Krillin opts to stay at Kame House in case they show up here, being as though they did say they were heading to Goku's house, assuming that that means they know where it was. So they decide to wait here. Now, the others search the planet and they can't actually find androids. This is thanks to the fact they can't sense their key. But after some time has passed, the androids soon show up at Kame House. Krillin is the only fighter present, so he releases his power, sending out a signal, which 16 does pick up on. However, the bold fighter and 18 share a moment like they did on the highway. Krillin has raised his power and he can sense his friends coming towards him, but for some reason he doesn't think these androids are as bad as they first thought. With everyone soon arriving at Kame House, Goku also showing up, the androids get excited to see Goku, with the Saiyan saying, "So, you're the androids. I gotta say, you're not quite what I was expecting, but I can tell you're strong, even without being able to sense your energy." 16 rushes towards Goku, not having any time to listen to what the Saiyan has to say, which causes Goku to panic a bit as he turns into his Akari form before using the Kaioken times 10 to close the gap between the pair. Goku's now able to hold his own against Android 16. They begin to battle one another. Goku isn't able to keep up with 16 for too long. 16 knows all of Goku's fighting styles and knows how Goku works, but he's able to keep up thanks to his power, and he's slowly breaking down that 16 understands how he moves. So Goku's starting to move a bit more unpredictably, which is working slightly. Now, with this battle breaking out, the likes of 17 and 18 don't want to wait around anymore, and they begin to battle the other Z fighters. Piccolo begins to hold off 17 on his own easily, and this fight goes very similar to Canon, while the other Z fighters deal with 18, with the Super Saiyan Gohan here helping the group hold their own against her. With there also being two Ikaris in the mix, it works beautifully. Both sides have advantages and disadvantages going for them. The Z fighters only have so long before they are running out of energy and the androids can keep fighting. However, Goku can crank up the Kaioken if absolutely needed, and also they have more numbers. I said the androids are losing when it comes to numbers, but they have infinite energy. They can keep doing this all day. So this is a huge battle that breaks out above Kame House. It's been a very close match on either side. Every time one side gets the advantage, the other would push back. Goku and 16's match is the most important to cover though. Goku and 16 are the only ones who are really completely even. 18 holds a slight advantage over the rest of the Z fighters, however their coordination is leading to them be able to keep up. 17 and Piccolo is also a pretty close match, but going very much like Canon. 16 versus Goku is pretty much a slugfest. Every time Goku's predicted, he changes up his fighting style, taking small bits from what he saw Broly use and Piccolo use, which is catching the android off guard a small amount. And every time Goku changes up, 16 data reads it and quickly counters. It's a very close fight, which 16 is slowly going to win. Now, this isn't the only downside to this fight. There is one major factor going on here. This is a massive beacon for Cell, who, having sensed all of this energy flare up, is now rushing towards the group as fast as he humanly can. Well, I suppose Bugly can. And it doesn't take the bug long to arrive, and when he does, he hides away. He waits for his chance. The battle goes on for a while, and eventually Piccolo knows he needs to end his current fight, seeing that the team who are up against 18 are losing. So Piccolo throws everything he can into an attack to knock 17 into the ground, and is about to rush over to help the others. But a shout from 17 going, "What?" grabs his attention as he looks down and sees Cell having grabbed 17 and is trying to absorb him. Group panic as he understands what Cell's after, quickly rushes towards him and kicks 17 away from him. Piccolo stares down the threat of Cell as 17 flies over asking who or what Cell is. They share a moment where they both thought they knew who he was, as Cell shares that he is their sibling and he is here to become perfect and kill Son Goku. While looking up at the Saiyan, with Piccolo and 17 understanding that this is no time to fight one another, they might actually need to work together. Piccolo is able to share the fact that 17 and Piccolo are actually a bit weaker than Cell, thanks to the fact they have taken quite a beating and Piccolo has expended a lot of energy already. 17 lets out a sigh of, "Oh crap, baskets." But soon, the other fights stop. Everyone is staring down Cell, and right now, Cell feels a bit outnumbered. Rightfully so. Goku, who's watched from the side and hearing Cell threaten to fight him, is going over to help, but is stopped by 16, who says, "I am your opponent, Son Goku. I will be the one to kill you." Goku, confused, but responds saying, "Listen, I love to continue this fight. I really would. Right now, our friends need our help, and I don't really get why you want to kill me, or why they want to kill me. Your own people. Make your own free will. But you're free to come and fight me anytime you want, and if you have to try and kill me, that's fine. I'll just rise to the challenge every time. So why not we make a truce? We won't try to kill you, and you can come and try to kill me whenever you want. I'll be ready for the fight." With this confusing everyone who can hear it, Goku has openly accepted the challenge to fight the androids, who will optionally try to kill him, but he's offering to make peace with them and make sure that they aren't killed. Krillin seconds this, saying how if they want, they will let them leave, and as long as they don't cause any harm to anyone on the planet, they won't ever chase them down. They're free to live their own lives. They don't have to follow what Jiro said. And if Goku's willing to let them come and beat up on him for a bit, be his guest. And this actually sits quite nicely with 17 and 18, who don't really care for killing Goku, but just needed something to do. 16's a bit annoyed, but having the offer to go beat up on Goku, he obviously takes it. With 16 and 18, and every Z fighter turning their attention towards Cell, Cell's fear begins to overtake him. He considers running, but knows he won't be able to. Cell comes up with a plan. He calls Goku out now, deciding that he will have this fight with him. Being so he offered to fight any of the androids, take him up on his offer. Goku, who's pretty injured at this point thanks to the Kaioken of 16, thinks about it and agrees. He says how he'll happily have this fight, flying down over towards Cell, telling everyone to just stand by and watch. He'll have this fight. After all, he did just make this deal with everyone else. It makes sense that he should at least make it with Cell. Everyone's slightly annoyed, but they are just willing to watch. Goku and Cell fly over the ocean and they begin their battle. Goku at first keeps it at Kaioken times 10, however, he feels how disadvantaged he is. Cell has a really good form of regeneration. Most hits Goku makes, he seems to come back from really happily. Alongside this, Goku can just feel all of the energy in Cell. And slowly, when Cell starts to show off some of the techniques from the Z fighters, Goku knows he needs to end this fight fast. He jumps it up to a Kaioken times 20, which closes the gap immensely. Cell and Goku now fight on a level playing field, and Goku just needs to get one good hit in. And at some point, Goku does. He staggers Cell for just a few seconds and goes to knock him out, knocking him to the ocean floor, thinking he had won. Goku naively trusts Cell here. He hadn't had to have the same experience he had with Frieza, where he would have learnt that don't trust your opponent. Right now, Goku is a little bit naive and is willing to give this person a second chance. But it's not going to work out in his favour. Soon, they can't sense the energy of Cell. Goku's confused and panics he might have killed him by mistake. However, Cell jumps up out of the water and absorbs loads of energy from Goku, putting him pretty much at death's door, and this gives Cell a huge increase in power. His power spikes up massively. Goku and his Ikari Kaioken has fed him loads. It's like he has just absorbed another him. With Cell now being probably around the same strength his semi-perfect form would be in, he looks over to the androids and shouts out that now they are his. 16 gets in the way before Cell can make it to his siblings as he shouts out for the pair to run away. They don't move straight away, but even Piccolo shouts this out as well, saying how they will hold off Cell, just get away from here. With them doing so, everyone begins to dogpile Cell, with them being able to hold him back for a few seconds, but it's not very long. Riku even goes Super Saiyan trying to put some strain on Cell, but he outpowers them way too much at this point. But thanks to Riku's father being Broly, he has this unique ability to grow super fast, just like his dad did. In fact, it's probably stronger than his father's, thanks to being a hybrid with a lot of potential. So Cell soon deems Riku as a big threat, and he decides to deal with him once and for all, with him picking him apart from the group and begin to beat into him violently, torturing his opponent. This is thanks to the new way Broly and Zarbon fight, making every moment pain for the boy. As much as the group want to help, they just don't have the power to. And eventually, Cell charges up a special beam cannon and puts it straight through Riku's skull. Everyone seeing this begins to break down mentally. Goten and Trunks just lost one of their closest friends, almost family. Zarbon lost his grandson, basically, from the future. Goku has lost his best friend's son, someone who he wanted to fight. But Broly is the person who's freaking out the most. Broly is snapping and breaking. These barriers he is trained to put in place are crumbling down around his energy. Broly lets out a monstrous scream as his body begins to buff up like never before, as he rushes straight towards Cell, being coated in this amazing glow of white. He slams Cell straight to the bottom of the ocean and begins to pummel into him. As almost a cocoon cracks around him, energy begins to flare amazingly. His hair is not the right shade though, it's almost green. His eyes are whited out, much like Riku. Everyone begins to panic as Broly's power is immeasurable at this point. Goku has managed to pull himself to shore and gotten some energy back, panics as he watches Broly, the person he had trained to put up loads of barriers to prevent stuff like this from happening, loses every inch of his cool. Everyone watches on as Broly slowly kills Cell, putting every inch of torture onto him, much like he had done to his son. Eventually, he throws Cell in the air, and with a massive energy wave flinging from his mouth, disintegrates every last piece of first form Cell. At first, they want to celebrate, but then Broly turns towards them slowly, his eyes still whited out, and his look still enraged. People begin to panic as Goku tells everyone to get out of here, as he'll try hold Broly off. He tries to jump back up to his Akari form, but Cell took way too much from him. He can't even use the Kaioken at this point. Everyone else gets ready to fight, but Zarbon steps out in front of him, shouting out to Broly that he needs to regain himself. With Broly not listening, Zarbon rushes towards his son, shouting out that you wanted to defend this planet. This isn't the time to be losing your cool. Recollect yourself. Riku can be revived with the Dragon Balls, but you are being an animal right now. And everything Frieza ever said about your ways is true. I know I wanted to flee, but I'm happy we stayed and helped. Now make sure you don't destroy what we just fought to defend. With Broly and Zarbon clashing briefly, there's moments of hesitation with Broly. The words are slowly snapping through Broly's psyche. Everyone at Kame House begins to cheer that Broly isn't like this. Gohan says how he never thought he would meet a Saiyan like his father, but Broly is. He's a kind person. He just needs to regain himself. Goku says how he can't lose his cool now. He has to have a sparring match with this newfound power, so he can't lose right now. As others begin to cheer for Broly to come back, slowly it works as he pulls himself together and collapses from exhaustion. People are about to fly out to go and help them, but 16 rushes off to help, grabbing the pair and coming back, dropping them in front of them. Everyone thanks 16 as he turns towards Goku. 16 says how he was designed to kill Goku, but now he just wants to defend the planet. Killing Goku will become his secondary mission. After all, he can still fight him anytime. Goku's happy to hear that 16 is happy to go along with this plan. After all, 16's secondary function was to defend everything on Earth, and he loved the planet and the birds and all of that. So it probably worked out for the best. But Piccolo was holding back some information that he now shares while Broly's unconscious, explaining how with him and Kame fused, technically they don't actually have Dragon Balls. This freaks everyone out a little bit, thanking God that Broly is unconscious. But Goku then remembers God. Then there's King Kai. Goku remembers that this will work. With a bit of back and forth through King Kai, they managed to use the Namekian Dragon Balls to make a wish to bring back all those killed by Cell. It's phrased in a way where everyone is brought back. He wakes up to see his future son back as they share a hug. With Zarbon happy to see Riku back as well, Goku goes to ask Broly what happened. Gohan and Goku already have a very good educated guess where that was the Super Saiyan form. However, his seemed very different and they might need to figure out why. But with all these Super Saiyan going around, Goku and Goten feel a little bit left out. Goku explains how he would like to learn the Super Saiyan form, but there's also an added benefit behind this. He believes that before they send Riku, Goten, and Future Trunks back, they should spend a bit of time in the Room of Spirit and Time. Goku thinks that not only should Future Goten and himself learn the Super Saiyan state, but Riku should learn to control his. Goku deems that the only way this is possible is if the likes of Goku learns it, so he can help coach them through, and at least then if they snap, they have some muscle to stop them. So they plan on taking Goku, Gohan, and Goten into the hyperbolic time chamber to just spend a few months to learn this Super Saiyan, so that if Broly was to go berserk again, he can be stopped, but also so they can coach Riku and Broly through it. With this happening, the Saiyans all fly off. 16 waits around a while, with this making things pretty awkward for the Z fighters, who begin to slowly spread off. The only one who sticks around being Krillin. However, soon 18 and 17 come back, and much like normal, 18 and Krillin have hit it off. With Krillin actually going off with the three to go explore the world a little bit, meaning so there's 3 and 16 still here, 17 still a bit immature, and they haven't been through life changing situations of getting absorbed by Cell. They have already been changed by androids. Don't give them too much. They go and actually explore the world a little bit. With 18 and Krillin obviously getting together, but that's not something we need to worry about for now. Anyway, the hyperbolic time chamber training between Gohan, Goku, and Goten goes swimmingly. The three only spend 8 months in there, with them learning the Super Saiyan state and actually managing to get it up to the third grade of it. Having not had enough time to master it, Goku just tried to do his best, and now knows what he needs to do from here on out. With this done, Goku speaks up saying how that next Riku and Broly need to go in. He says that future Goten should go in with them. Goten is probably able to hold off one of them, so the pair should never go Super Saiyan at the same time. They should do it in intervals and make sure they have enough time to rest. That way it will be one Super Saiyan in Akari versus an enraged Super Saiyan. Goten also has an idea on how to master the state, so this will be a great way for them to learn how to do that as well. With them all hearing this, they all head in, and there is a lot of moments where they are almost trapped in there forever, where the door's almost blown off. So it's not the greatest situation to be in, but slowly, over time, they crack down at this. Riku is the first one to break through the wall and be able to control his Super Saiyan state. This is thanks to months of meditation, and this leads to him being able to do it. Broly picks up pretty fast afterwards as the pair then start working towards mastering the state. Goten is soon outpowered by the pair. Even after the first month, they were outshining him, thanks to Broly and Riku's incredible potential. With them all coming out having mastered the Super Saiyan state, and them now being the strongest on Earth, Goku's happy and is looking forward to doing some training with Broly. Goku already has so many plans for the Super Saiyan state, but right now he needs to concentrate on mastering it, and then he needs to get to stage 2 of his plan. But with this done, the time travelers head back and easily dismantle their androids and kill Cell when he shows up. Trunks is a bit annoyed he didn't get to get all this growth they've had, but he's actually pleasantly surprised that Goten gives him a capsule containing a video of Goku walking him through how to do the Kaioken. It's very rough and it's not a very good video. Goku explaining stuff is like the worst, but he's able to get a point across, and Trunks thanks his friend's father from the past. And soon they get back to normal life in the future, trying to rebuild. And in the present, things go peacefully for 7 years. But that's a story I'll cover later on, because there are some major changes which happen here, and I need to do it later on, because this is a 30-minute long video. I suppose I'm back into the swing of things. Anyway, I hope people enjoyed this. I wanted to have them go into the Room of Spirit of Time regardless, so this felt like a fun way to do it. Also, I thought they could probably win without Super Saiyan, thanks to Goku having Kaioken and Hikari in this timeline. There was no way he wasn't going to try. What the hell did I just say? Combine the two forms in this timeline. So yeah, that was his first step, and obviously having a times 20 is more than a Super Saiyan 2 multiplier, meaning Goku was really, really strong at this point. And of course, with Goku now having Super Saiyan grade 3, he's going to master it and then go to the next logical steps which Goku would go through. Broly has also gained a lot of control here, and I wanted Broly to get the win against Cell, even though he got the win against Frieza. Broly's just going to end up winning a lot. People need to come to terms with this very fast. His potential's too nuts to be having him training with Goku, but he's training with Goku because I guess that's going to be fun for me. Yeah, I hope people enjoyed this part. I know I've left this for a while, but I also don't think it's been too missed. But I like this series. I'll finish it. I'm also going to start doing light goals for this sort of stuff. I don't know what I want this one to be. I should have written this down really before. So let me think of something real quick off the top of my head. I should probably take my base average and do it, but that sounds like effort. So what I will do is I will go to the last part for this. We will say 75 likes, maybe 90. 90 likes. And if next time we get 90 likes, I'll do the next part for this. This part to 90 likes and I'll do part 5. Anyway, I hope people have enjoyed. I hope you all have a great day or a good night, and hopefully I'll see you next time.